Hello and welcome back to another episode of Driving Britain. Today we're heading towards Warsaw. Now I don't think we've filmed in Warsaw much before. It is about 4:30 in the afternoon and it's starting to get a bit chilly as well. We're on the way towards winter now. About 16, 17 degrees Celsius. Today we're going to run a little bit of a competition. I want you to forward the video to the person with the strangest name that you can think of. Now you've got to send it to them. We want to know that you've sent it to them. The person with the strangest name gets pinned. Now these videos go all the way around the world, so we could end up with some pretty unusual names, or for us they might sound unusual. You'll see that the fuel prices are slowly changing again. They're going back up. That was £1.62 per litre. Uh-oh, look at all that traffic. Now we've recorded this a bit later in the day because we thought that it would give you a bit more time to see stuff around if we're going a little bit slower in the traffic. But we don't want this much traffic. We are heading into the centre of Warsaw at 4:30 in the afternoon. Anyone who lives in Warsaw watching the video, or that's lived in Warsaw, add to the comments whereabouts you used to live or that you do live. Obviously not your actual address, just an area. Walsall is a big place and it's an old place, and it's also got a lot of history with things like the mining era within the UK. The old England, I guess, the old Britain. The section we're on right now is called, I think at least, Arboretum. Now I'm sure that there's a lookout park here somewhere, isn't there? Yeah, a big hill that you can park on the top of. Some sort of arboretum at the top, or the arboretum, but what do you call those round things with a little standing area with a lid on it that you get in viewpoint areas? Not a cenotaph. Somebody add to the comment section what they're called. But either way, I'm sure that there's one there somewhere. For those of you who have been keeping up to date with our videos, you'll see that the past few videos that we've put out have been some nice relaxing videos, not driving ones, just relaxing scenery. And that's because people like all sorts. Yeah, we all go out for nice long drives, but sometimes it takes a bit to unwind from that. We like to watch those sort of things, and we know that others do, so we've added a few so that you've got a little selection of everything to be able to watch. Some of them are on long loops, you know, like an hour-long video, where it's a single piece of camera footage throughout. Others are on short loops, so a video has been trimmed down to 10 or 20, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. And that's because we've purposely made some of them so that the picture remains almost the same. We don't want it completely the same because that's not very good for your screen. We want it so that, you know, if you're looking out across the ocean, so the ocean's moving and It gives you an impression of being there. But we don't want it to change too much, getting light and dark or a sudden big wave or something like that. Nothing that's really going to attract your attention. The point of those sort of videos are to be able to sit there and relax to it without it really kind of calling you back to the video. You want to be able to watch it without knowing that you're watching it, if that makes sense. So some of them we've purposely trimmed down. Now we've actually been working with a psychologist with some of these videos to make sure that they do exactly what it is that we hope that they're doing. Now some of them have that kind of flown off the shelf pretty quickly and got quite a few views instantly as soon as we've put them up there, so they must be doing what we thought, what we hope. But yeah, so if you see one and you think, oh, that's a pretty short loop on the video, we've done it purposely. We've done it for your benefit. We've not made them that short or that noticeable that you can see it's on a little loop, and some of them that isn't a loop at all. So, you know, if you're the sort of person where you really want to stare at the screen for the whole duration and you don't want to notice anything different, then there are other videos. We've got it all. One of the most recent videos that we uploaded was around an area called Castle Vale, near Birmingham Centre. The reputation around Castle Vale, from what we could gather and when we was looking up stuff on Wikipedia and old news articles that was coming up, not that old, but news articles, was making the area look really, really bad, really down on the area. And we looked around it and we thought, well, actually this doesn't look that bad. In fact, it looks really nice. There's a massive fort shopping centre there. It's so big they've had to split it into two. You've got the original Jaguar building, the original Dunlop building from the war days. You know, it's an impressive area. So we purposely made a video. We've put on the caption that a lot of the newspapers and stuff were saying, and then we've left it for you to decide for yourself. So have a look at the video, tell us what you think, add it to the comments. Do you think it looks like what I think the main report that we put on the thumbnail is a BBC report, and they describe it as a pigsty of the Midlands or something so much stupid. Now we don't agree with that. What do you think? Have a watch, let us know in the comments. Right, today's route, no idea whatsoever. I'm heading towards what I've pinged onto the map as a swimming bath in the centre of Warsaw, because I know that there is a swimming bath in Warsaw and I know it is in the middle of it. And then we're going to go off towards Manor Hospital, because I know that some people might just want to know what it looks like around there, because you might have to go there. But the roads that we take to get there, they're going to be random. The roads between the two places, potluck. The roads from there, no idea. And that's because, like always, we just make the route up as we go. We try to pick out some main points in the area to aim for, because we don't want to be just turning left and right and we'll end up going around in circles. If anybody's seen any of them walking videos where people are sent out into a field with a blindfold and told to walk in a straight line, you'll know what we mean. Now I think I might have called this wrong way, because I know that we do have to go right, and this doesn't look like a good idea. I thought that was going to be a lot more trouble, because like I say, we're at 4:30 in the afternoon. We've not picked the best time to go into a main centre like Warsaw, but I wanted you to be able to see around at the houses and have a proper bit of time to view. We do film at everything up to 120 frames a second, usually never less than 60 frames, sometimes up to 120. I think that the footage through Ireland, the causeway, Giant's Causeway, that's definitely in 120. I think the Durness Beach as well, which isn't an ordinary beach. If you haven't seen that video, you really should click on it and have a look. It's a really weird place, some weird formations, and I don't know what causes them either. I was hoping that one of you would have put into the comments what's caused the weird, I'd say sand formations, because it just crumbled a bit like tough sand, but it looks more like coral. I was hoping that someone would have put into the comments what causes it, what it is, what it turns into. But so far, last time I checked, which was fairly recently, no one's had any ideas. So if you're into geology, or if you just think that you've got a good idea, click on the Durness video. Not only that, it's just a really good place to look at, and if you are either in the UK or you're going to visit the UK, then it's somewhere to add as a place to visit. It's in South Wales, and it's a beautiful place. It's a really nice drive, it's a lovely area, and there's quite a lot of main tourist spots not that far away, so that you can get to the main heart of things and stay out the way if you want to. You get the best of all of it. But mainly I want you to tell me what causes those weird formations on the beach. We told you in a previous video, I know 2, 3, 4 videos back maybe, that we were changing some things about the channel and the way we do the videos, and that we were looking for your input. You've still just about got enough time to be able to add to the comment section what you like and don't like about the videos. Places that you want to see, you can always add those. We're always looking for ideas, because there's loads of places that we think might be really nice and worth seeing, but we don't know everywhere. We need you to tell us. Now, we are working in the Midlands, working outwards, because it's the centre of England, and we're mostly at the moment filming in England. We've done a lot of filming in Scotland, they're still being uploaded. The same for some from Northern Ireland. We do go out to Wales and off the opposite side towards Scarborough when we're filming from the Midlands outwards. Yeah, your likes and dislikes, it's your chance to have your say and have it actually listened to. Right, we're starting to get towards the middle part of Warsaw. Warsaw city. Yeah, fuel prices $1.56 on there per litre. Now, for those of you that are buying petrol from other countries outside the EU, because I know the EU's been charging stupid prices as well. If you're in South America, or perhaps even around as far as Australia and China, Indonesia, and those of you in Africa, you're all seeing much better prices than what we are. We did go up to £10 a gallon, then it dropped down to about $1.55 because there was so much public outcry, and now they're slowly sneaking the price back up again. They think that we just won't look, or they'll give us something glittery to look at, so that hoping that no one notices. I don't know, a royal canoe down a canal or something, to try and distract everybody from the fact that they've just doubled the price of petrol again. Now, yeah, we're a driving video, so it's obviously something that's a bit closer to our heart than most people, but it's affecting everybody. Prices are going up all over the world right now. Many places and companies are still trying to blame it on COVID. Not far from here, there's a toll road. Now, in England, well, in the UK overall, there's not really very many toll roads, and the ones that used to exist, like through to South Wales, they've scrapped the charge on it now. But one of the toll roads that is going to always stay as a toll road, because it is built as a private road, built through taxpayers' money, obviously, but as a private road for a private company, organisation, and that's the M6 Relief Road, or Birmingham Relief Road, M6 Toll, whatever name you want to hang it under. Yeah, like the HS2, that's the main train line that's been built using public funds for private companies who will then collect the profits and return nothing but tax to the public. I don't really know why it is that the public should be forced to pay for these projects in the first place, but apparently we are. The relief road's one of them, except their charges are £6 or £7 per car, even for one junction. Yeah, that's just a lot of money, especially if you wanted to use it each day. But during COVID, they didn't get very many cars. Obviously, we all had lockdown like the rest of the world. But now they've added more money to the price, and part of the claims are because of loss of revenue during COVID. Well, they haven't said loss of revenue, they just said as a result of COVID, our prices have had to go up. Well, I don't know how your prices go up once you've already built a road that's been there for about 15-20 years. All of a sudden, because there's COVID, it's going to cost more to go down that particular road. They're not maintaining it or anything, it's just normal maintenance. So yeah, there's a lot of places charging extra and trying to blame it on COVID. What they're doing is trying to recoup their loss of revenue for why the lockdown was going on. The same as the airlines, the flights. I don't know, a flight from England to say mid-Spain would, for one person, economy flight probably be £120, £130 normally. Well, they've doubled. They have doubled and tripled, quadrupled in some instances. It's not because their costs are suddenly higher. I mean, fuel is higher, so planes are being hit more by that. But it's mainly because these companies are trying to get back the money that they lost during lockdown. Well, if we all did that, then we would live in a very broken world, wouldn't we? The people that have lost the most is us, the public. Companies and organisations were bailed out massively in the UK by the government. So them using us to, double their money, recoup what they lost. Everybody lost. We all have to put it down as a time when everybody lost money. What we don't do is try and take it back from others to fill our pockets back up so that we act as if it never happened for us. That's just wrong. We are going through the centre of Warsaw, as you can see. I am supposed to be heading towards the swimming baths, but I think I just missed the turning. I don't even know if you can get down the road for the swimming baths. I think we just went past it. And I'm following Google Maps, and I've got it down as one of two destinations because we've got the hospital listed. But I think that it's just rerouting us back past where we just came from, because I didn't acknowledge that we'd reached that location. So I think it's just sending us back round, because when we went past the Broadway, which I thought we just did, I thought that we could turn into it from there. Now this is where we was just queuing. Now I thought, from what I remembered from the maps, the swimming baths was somewhere on the right. Anybody seeing a swimming baths? No right turn. Is that no right turn down there? Maybe that was it back there. Or maybe it's in this gap. Oh, I think it's down there, isn't it? Well, that'll be the swimming baths. It was a little dead end. I don't think there's parking down there because it didn't look like it when we looked on the maps. Well, you definitely got to look around this part. The thing that we can't seem to do is skip away from that next stop and go back to the route that we want. It wants us to just keep going around in this circle. So is anybody recognising anywhere from around here? Did you used to live in Warsaw? Work in Warsaw? Maybe you still live in Warsaw? Tell us in the comments what it's like. Remember that people of all ages, including young people, might read those comments. I had a mental image of what the first sets of comments were going to be. Not because it necessarily represents the area, but because someone's just going to do it because they're going to do it. So the swimming baths at Warsaw, is it still open? Does it still exist? Or is it just an old location listed down on the maps? Has anybody been there? I think it used to be, or still is, a big gala bath, Olympic pool. That's quite a big deal. There's not many of those about. But not that's still open. I am going to try to get down that road. We need to go this way anyway, off towards Manor Hospital. Oh, the road's even lit up on my map this time. When we came down earlier. Oh, hang on. No, I don't want to go down there. I was going to say when I came down earlier the road wasn't listed for where the swim baths were on the actual map, and I put it down to there being no reception, so it just wasn't updating. And then it did light up, but it lit up the wrong turning. Here we go. Well, that was a bit uneventful, wasn't it? Some startled kids trying to work out why there's a whole bunch of cameras rolling around the corner. We have quite a few cameras pointing at the car. We don't just use one camera, we sometimes switch the picture between different cameras depending on what sort of quality we're getting and things like that. And we never rely just on one camera anyway. You can see from your view that the camera's on the outside. Oh, there's that not so friendly dog again. Not going to be able to get around there. They all started to go and then they didn't, but I know that they're taking that long, we're not going to be able to sit on green. Because of music we had to turn you off for a little bit, It's the problem with being stuck in traffic. You get people playing music, and YouTube really don't like that. Right, we are going to have to go around in that same circle again, aren't we? This is starting to feel a little bit like Groundhog Day. Yeah, I wanted to find the swim bass, but it wasn't really impressive enough to do so many loops. I think that bit on the right was that Walsall Arboretum. I will try to get round to Walsall Arboretum somewhere along the line. I think after Walsall Manor we'll go off towards Walsall Arboretum. That's or at least used to be, judging by the internet. They used to do quite a lot of lights at the Arboretum. I don't know if they still do. Anybody knows, add it to the comment section so that everybody knows. And don't forget our competition. Got to get someone with the most unusual name possible to watch the video or forward it to them, and they've got to watch it. You know, we can't just have you make up a name, it's got to be done properly. Right, why are we going around in that same part? I think I'm going to ignore Google. I think Google has got us trapped in a time warp. Well, at least the lights don't take too long. Right, now I'm going to ignore what Google is claiming, because I think that we want the main road, don't we? The part where I thought that I saw what could have been the Arboretum. I know you're all yelling at the screen now, telling us what we've just done wrong about 10 times, but that's because we're not going near there. Oh, we need to go in that bit there. That's because we foolishly followed Google. Right now it does have Warsaw Manor left. It's not just Google. Oh, it's on about forwards and left, wasn't it? Right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to just divert around. Yeah, like that. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I don't know why it's trying to lead us around that. The thing with Google is it does do live update. So if there's something going on, a traffic jam or just something going wrong with the road, a bit of road works, it will lead you around. Wouldn't be a problem, except the place he's trying to lead us around, we couldn't turn down, we couldn't go right. Well, that was hard work, wasn't it? If the editors were nice, they would cut that section out for us. Which means that you've just been sitting through it all the same as what I just did. I don't know if that Google just didn't know that that section was no right turn. If there's another road there which I didn't see. But either way, we couldn't turn where it wanted us to go. And I think it was just trying to cut this corner off because of the traffic on the island. And I've got to be honest, it took us a lot longer to do them circles, the same circles, than what it did to wait in that little bit of traffic on the island. Lost my microphone now. Right, now I think that we went past the hospital back there, didn't we, on that bit? Did we? No. Hospital's down there on the left. Got two rows lit up in blue on Google. Now one is slightly darker than the other, which is the one that I assume we're supposed to follow, but the return one, because it's a main road, is also being lit up in blue. Because we got it zoomed out a little bit, it kind of highlighted us in doing a bit of a circle, and we don't want to do a circle. Okay, let's do a loop around the actual hospital. I don't know if this is the main way in. problem that we've got is because we ended up wasting a bit of time going around in circles and stuff like that, more circles than we normally go in. It means that we are getting a bit later in the day. We're now on 5 o'clock, so we're pretty much on peak traffic. Now we need to be able to take a bit of a traffic route so that you had more time to look around and see different stuff, because if you're watching this from another country, then it's going to be extra interesting for you. If you're watching it from the UK, you want to look around an area that you've lived in, it's going to give you a bit of a chance to see what's changed. Oh, I'll tell you what has changed, our idea of coming back this way. The two ways out of here. Right, Walsall Manor is on the left. I'll see if we can get through the car park without having to hold up an ambulance, which you can see approaching behind, or going in the pan display part of the car park. Right, okay. Oh, big charges for the parking. I always think that's pretty bad. You got things going on already. Last thing you need is to have to pay a tenner to go and see a doctor about it. Right, we're going to do a hoop there. We're not going to get out to the bottom because I think that might bring us out onto the road back at the corner of them lights, and I want to go left. I don't know if going left is going to lead us to the Arboretum, but it is going to lead us a little bit out of the traffic. Leading us a little bit more towards some of the older houses as well, because some of the houses in Warsaw really are old. Not quite like Cornish cottage old, but older than some countries. Because we're getting a little bit more towards the winter, we're starting to get dark already. Which is bad for two reasons. One, it's getting dark already. It's only 5 o'clock. God, it's horrible. I'm a solar powered person. I need sunshine to make me go. Go on, I was going to let you go. Mainly because I didn't trust you not to pull out on me, but I was going to let you go all the same. Yeah, it's also bad for a second reason. One of the cameras that we have filming right now is a GoPro 10. Now, I think we've got it filming at 5K 60 frames a second, which will give you a fantastic image. But GoPros really don't like darkness. I know that you can change the settings. They've got auto settings in, set to auto. I always tend to believe that the cameras know better than me unless there's something specific that we want it to do. But GoPros, they just don't like the dark. The image quality can suffer quite a bit. So if that starts to happen, if we're using the GoPro footage, then apologies. But I think it's still light enough not to be a problem. But you certainly had a tour around traffic lights, haven't you? Driving around some parts of Africa, the policy is if there's a gap, go in it. No waiting, no hanging around, no orderly fashion. Just if there's a gap, get yourself through it and get yourself out of the way so that somebody else can be in that gap. And it looks like absolute havoc, and it's scary to drive through, but it works really, really well. It's supposed to be a bus lane or what? I think it developed into a bus lane, didn't it? Yeah, you see everybody just darting for any space there is. A lot of people on bikes, so it makes it a bit easier. But you keep sitting in queues like this and you can see plenty of space around where I could easily fit. Would be nice, wouldn't it? But then you drive somewhere like Germany or Switzerland and it's a bit different, a little bit more, I don't know about official or calculated, but we do seem to have quite a few bad drivers in the UK. I don't know how many are from the UK or if they're visitors or if we just have a particularly bad set of drivers. I think it's just that we have a lot of bad drivers. Guy on a little old moped. The front of it looked like a Vespa or a Piaggio or something like that, but the back of it looked like one of the old Caminos. If anybody remembers the Camino moped, one of the old originals, you still get them about now and again, but not very much. Ones with pedals on. Pedals to get it going because the engine wasn't powerful enough on its own, or if you're going up a hill and it can't quite make it. Those of you watching from the US, does it seem weird seeing our type of truck on the road? Okay, you've got the big pit bull bonnets and things like that, whereas we always have the flat front cabs. We've got smaller roads, we need to. There is a bit of a double-edged sword to these videos because we don't like sitting in traffic. We want to be driving without having to wait in queues, traffic islands, anything like that. But the places where you can do that sort of driving tend to be places off out in the country or mountainous regions and different areas like that, which is fantastic driving. If we're in the Highlands or somewhere, then that's great for you as well. But if we're just going through country lanes, driving through Cornwall, there's almost always high hedges on the sides, so it means that you don't really get to see that much. So it might be nice driving for us, but it's not great for you. Whereas this is probably the opposite way around. It's not great for us, but it's nice for you because you get to look around at all the different stuff. have to let us know in the comment section what you prefer. Do you like these ones where it's a little bit more stop-start, a bit more traffic, gives you a chance to look around a little bit, or do you prefer ones where we're making ground? Since we was in the traffic, I purposely put the microphone up a little bit so that you can hear a little bit more of the ambient noise rather than me babbling on. That's the other thing, we've got quite a few videos where we're just silent, the cameras and the microphones are all on the outside of the car, or if they're inside then it's just car noises. And we've got others which are like this where we're talking. Which one do you prefer? Now I know that we're not going to get everybody to agree on one single format. Right, I think we're at the Arboretum, aren't we? I think that the Arboretum is on the left. Anybody in the comment section about whether this is still a running Arboretum, whether they're still doing the lights at main times of the year, you know, Christmas, Halloween, whatever it was that they were doing. What was it that they were doing? Let us know. Yeah, we've got videos where we're talking, videos where we're not talking, all sorts of different things, but what we don't really know is generally which ones you prefer, because we get similar sort of amounts of views on all of the videos. Now it might just be because you just watch whatever we're uploading, you know it's going to be something good, so it's worth watching regardless. But there's probably a format that you do prefer. Probably do prefer it with or without the talking. But we're only going to know that if you tell us in the comment section, because we can perhaps make more videos like that for you. It might just be you. And we might get a stack of people say, oh yeah, we much prefer talking, much more dynamic, more interesting, nice to hear about the areas, different things in your country, all sorts of stuff like that. And there might be just one person that says, actually no, I prefer it where it's just car noises and I can listen to an audiobook. And we might make a video just especially for you. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Right, I think we just went past the entrance to the Arboretum. Which was just a gateway, so wasn't really much to see, but even more so almost impossible for me to stop with all the traffic around. A lot of Warsaw's been rebuilt on since the days of the mining and things like that, but I think that both Walsall and Rugeley and Stone and Stafford and the whole area has got a lot of holes underneath where the houses are. There's been a couple of instances where there have been collapses because unknown shafts have opened up, houses and stuff have dropped into them. But I think that for general building around places like Walsall, it's also got a lot of sand, so you have to dig down below the sand down through to solid ground to build. So some of the houses, even the ones with cellars in, they have to dig right down, so that they can have footings on them which goes 20 or 30 feet below the ground for some, just to keep it underpinned if they want a cellar. If they don't, then you're on about the depth of an entire floor of the house below the ground just to get up to ground level. I'm not sure where left leads, but it leads out of all of those cars, so we will be taking left. Yeah, so yeah, footings that's 10-12 foot deep, big layers of concrete, because the ground's a little bit unstable, or it might have holes underneath, or because it's got sandy sediment. Yeah, it's not the only area. There's quite a lot, especially as you move further north. Then there's old mines that have been filled in and all sorts of stuff like that, and underpinning has to go on. And so there has been a lot of new builds going in around Warsaw that we've seen, but there's also a lot of the old houses, and I'm not surprised, because if you've got to do that to put a house down, that's quite a big outlay, surely. It's almost the equivalent of having to put it on an extra floor. It's like building a 3-story house, but one of them is going to be just stuck in the ground. You're not going to get to see it or use it. If you can get a basement, a cellar out of it, then fair enough, but if it's just because the ground conditions, then that's a bit harsh. If anybody knows if it is like that all over Warsaw, or if there's just some bits. We just saw some bits when we were looking on the internet earlier, just a couple of reports about some things and some bits that have to be done and stuff like that. But if you're from Warsaw, you actually know, add it to the comment section, let us all know. Is it all of Warsaw? Is it just some parts? Is it just the odd thing and it manages to make the news, or is it a really big problem? Is that why there's a lot of old houses? I prefer the old houses, I do. I think that we had a lot more style and a lot more interest in what we were doing back in the day, rather than now where we just assemble almost flat pack houses. Very sorry for that guy trying to turn right. It's not the best road for it. I think we turned left on here, didn't we, when we was coming the opposite direction, and I turned left down Lake Road or Lake Avenue or something, was it? Is this it here where the van's pulling out? No. Remember there being some barriers. I think that is where we turn now. I remember the barriers and seeing something about a lake. Anybody remembers, add it to the comment section. I've just noticed that the camera has been slowly moving. You were a little bit pointing up towards the sky. Hopefully that's not being a big problem. Just bending you more down towards the ground now, or you're being bent now. That might mean that you see a little bit of the front, a bit more of the front of the car, but it's better than you seeing just cloud, which it is quite a nice, mostly blue sky, but well, right above it is anyway, not so much in front. So what other sort of videos have you been watching today? List in the comment section what sort of things you've been watching. But don't forget, if you want to be the person who gets pinned, you've got to get someone with the strangest name that you know to watch the video. Get them to watch the video, send it to them and get them to watch it, or get them around. The strangest one we'll pin. Don't forget to list the area as well. Now, Bob from Botswana. Ted from Papua New Guinea. Not that Bob and Ted are exciting names, or not exciting, but you know what I mean. They're not the ones that we're looking for. If your name is Bob or Ted, thank you for watching. Enjoy your shout out. Oh no, more traffic. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I know that with the traffic, we're sitting still. It means that you get, you know, an even more crisp picture than normal, because even though we're filming at high resolution and stuff, we're still moving, so the picture's not going to be as fantastic as when we're sitting still. So you do get to see things in a lot better detail, and you get time to actually look at different things that you wouldn't necessarily notice or see as you're driving past. So we know that it's nice for you to have this type of video now and again. Not so great for us because we're doing the driving in the traffic, but you know, if you're good enough to watch the videos, we're good enough to make them. That's all there is to it. So the country that you're in right now, what's the traffic like? Do you see traffic at peak times like this? Is your traffic much worse than ours? About the same? Or do you never see anything like this? Do you live in a town where there's only 20 people, even though it's a 1,000 square mile town, middle of Alaska or something like that? Well, not the middle, but you know what I mean. Or are you in Indonesia or India or Pakistan or somewhere like that where there's pretty high traffic? There's horses in there. Yeah, are what we're seeing absolutely nothing compared to what you see for your busy times? Where is it China where the traffic jams sometimes get so bad they can literally hire people to come and sit in their cars in the traffic jam because it takes days to get through? I'm sure that was China. Might be Japan. Somewhere over that side of the world. Yeah, traffic jams that bad that you've got people at the side of the road selling food. You leave your car for hours, go off and go to sleep for the night and come back and take over from the person that you've hired. Now that's a traffic jam. This is the direction that we came from, isn't it? Because I remember us coming past Barbican. We are currently heading towards Tamworth because we're doing some filming, well actually north of Tamworth, Nuneaton is where we're actually heading to. So we're covering a little bit of the same ground. We're not going to go there in this video, but that's the direction that we're heading. Right, I think that from where we started recording, we've pretty much done a complete loop. Because I think that we were just down the road here where we started recording. Because we pulled off the main drag to start assembling the cameras. And I think that that was a side road just down here. Right, okay, we will end the video here. Thank you for watching. We look forward to you joining us again on the next video, which you can probably already click straight to. Don't forget, get the person with the strangest name to watch the video, or forward it to them, get them to watch it. Let us know in the comments what their name is. Strangest name gets pinned. Thank you for watching.